Hi, welcome.
Welcome back.
This is the JK Not Really podcast, and I'm Kurt.
And I'm Jacqueline.
And it's been a little while. You've been busy,
Yes, I've been
right?
traveling and working and stuff. And
And you're getting ready for a big show.
yes, a big show in Miami during our to Basel, which will be quite fun, I think.
That's going to be awesome. And that's
Yeah.
like the first week of December.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. Yes.
that's going to be lots of fun. And so we're not just always here depressing ourselves with with politics, even though I'd say it's about 70 to 80% of what
Oh,
we do every day.
that's about right. Yeah.
But
Well, you
the
can't
other
avoid it.
20%, sometimes we're doing other
Other
things.
things, of course. Yes.
So, okay, so once again, we had a little hiatus catching up on work stuff and mom doing her art stuff, but we did not, we were there. Everything that was happening was insane.
Oh my God. You can't even make this shit up.
The Epstein
These files.
files like blew up.
It blew up. That's where our last podcast was about the Epstein files.
Yes,
We basically
yes.
talked about
And
all
it
that.
was, it kept getting crazier and
Very
crazier. And then Charlie Kirk got assassinated.
That's
And it
right.
was just thing after thing after thing. But I think the Charlie Kirk assassination, everyone was talking about it because it was like televised,
Oh,
right?
no. Yeah.
And I remember I was on TikTok that day, like in 5 minutes after he got shot, like I saw the video. It came up, it
Right.
immediately went viral,
I saw it too.
and it was unedited, and it was one of the hardest things I think I've ever
I
seen.
know.
It was
It's
really
it's
hard to
not easy
watch.
to watch.
Yeah.
And thank God they took it down.
And that in itself is why I like to start the conversation, because when you have that feeling of seeing someone getting shot, like that is the correct feeling.
It is
Like it's disgusting, it's scary,
scary.
and it's not something you should do to someone,
No,
right?
no.
Not to
Violence.
anyone. Political violence is bad.
Well, violence of any kind is bad. I mean, it's just
The
we just shouldn't do it.
Yes, but if you watch a video of anyone getting shot, not just like Charlie Kirk, if anyone was getting shot and you saw it, I mean, it would be the same human thing
Yeah.
to know that that's wrong and
Right.
to know that that person didn't deserve to go out that way.
Nobody deserves to get.
However,
Well, I call it karma in a sense.
well, yes, he was a horrible person.
Well, he preached. He got what he preached, basically. And he did
He's a
preach.
victim of what he was perpetuating.
Exactly.
So it's like one of those people, like, I don't know how to describe this, like one of those people who has the product that has to be recalled because it's deadly, and then they end up getting killed by that product because they didn't recall it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ironic.
Yeah. I mean, the things that he has said in the past, and apparently he started doing this since he was 16, but what he has said is not nice things, especially about gay people. He thinks they should all be shot.
No, and just
He's,
people that victims of shootings.
well, that,
Okay, let's talk about
that,
other victims of shootings.
right.
He
says
was
it's
saying
worth
like it was worth it to have the Second Amendment to have some people get shot every year. I wonder if he would have
children.
still said that, like back then, if someone had come up to him and been like, "Hey, do you know that on, was it August or September? I don't remember. Maybe September. Did you know that on September 10th, it was September 10th,
And
on September 10th, that you're going to be shot at a school in front of a bunch of people doing that?" Do you think he would feel the same way and say the same stuff? Like maybe he would, but I don't think he would, because I think he would want to self-preserve.
exactly. I think so.
So I think that when you put it in that context, like what he was saying and what he was doing was bad. What happened to him was bad, and those things can exist at the same time.
Yes.
He doesn't have to be like all of a sudden, just because he was killed in this horrible way,
Right.
does not exonerate how he lived his life and everything that happened literally up to the moment that he was shot.
Exactly.
He was died like saying the things that are bad.
And he was about to go into the
Racism, yes.
racism by answering that guy's question about guns and stuff like that.
Well, he started with transphobia,
Mm-hmm.
and then he deflected to racism, and that's what these people do.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't get to finish that.
Oh, the things he says in the past about black women, that
Mhm.
they don't have the brain or the intelligence to hold any kind of position. He hated the affirmative action because he thinks that black people shouldn't take their jobs. You know, he's just said a lot of bad. And then, oh, women. I mean, I saw a video where he was talking to a college, and he was talking about the girls in college and telling them, you know, you don't have to go to college. Girls shouldn't go to college. But you're smart and you're going to college, but you know, you're smart because you're going to college to find a good husband. I mean, and then of course, some of these girls were cheering. I just don't get it.
No.
Jesus.
What I hate is the things that he was doing are bad. Not a lot of, even Republicans, I don't think even knew who Charlie Kirk was. Unless you're like severely online. So there's a certain like generation of people that knew him pretty well. Like I remember during COVID, I used to watch him and Candace Owens doing the debate stuff. And I used to think like, these people are fucking crazy.
Really?
You
I
know?
never really saw him or anything. I knew of him, but I never.
No, I've seen him before they got big. Candace Owens is on her own brand of crazy now, though. They kind of like split.
Oh, okay.
And Charlie Kirk was more like mainstream MAGA, and Candace Owens is more like anti-Semitic
Oh God.
MAGA. And we can get into the whole Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories that I really want to get into. But first, just the glorifying of his death and the martyrdom that they're bestowing on him.
They're taking an opportunity to try and, I don't know what it is, but yeah, he is not a martyr. He's not a hero. He is the cause.
No, and everyone, when he was murdered, I think it took, like, I don't even think his body was cold yet. Until they were on Fox News being like,
Oh yeah.
this is the Democrats, they want us all dead. You know, like saying things so divisive, blaming the Democrats for what happened before there was even a shooter and a motive or any evidence. They went and they started and you know, that's what pisses me off because they're really good at that.
Yeah.
They're like, they didn't wait. They were like, we'll just say that it's them. And if it's proven that it isn't, it doesn't matter because we already said it.
Exactly.
And when we say it, like, you know, most of the people don't wait around to hear the rest of it, you know?
But remember what happened to that legislature and her husband who got shot
In
point
Minnesota.
blank in their house and their dog. Her and her husband and the dog. And then she went to another house and shot the wife and the husband. Of course, they survived, but they got shot. And then he had a whole list of other politicians, that he was
Including
involved.
Tim Walz.
Exactly.
Don't go after my Tim
And
Walz
this
now.
guy was, you know, wasn't he like a Christian kind of person? I mean, like
He was a mega.
He was
like a
mega-
preacher or like
Yeah,
a
something like
whatever
that.
they call it in the mega churches, a preacher or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't
nobody.
talk about that.
They didn't
like
talk
they
about
just
political violence. They
put
didn't even
that.
mention it. But you know, the Democrats also didn't say, you know, this is what the Republicans are doing. This is from the Republican. You know, it's just because the Democratic Party is so polite and so good and so straight to the book. They're like, if someone dies, you do not politicize it. You like
Well, you
respect them.
Well, you have to.
But the right doesn't do that.
No, the right.
They don't
doesn't do it.
care.
They want to spew more violence.
No, like
This is Trump. He wants to spew more violence. That's what they do, and they took this opportunity, and that's what they did, and they glorified him, and
they even did a one-sidism about it. They were like, this only happens to Republicans, and it's like, no, what? Like just weeks ago, and I saw like interviews where people were like, well, if you're saying this like isn't a two-sided problem, like, do you remember what happened in Minnesota in July? And that guy was like, oh, how dare you? We're talking about Charlie Kirk, my thing, not your thing.
Yeah.
And it's utterly disgusting.
It's disgusting. I mean, the flag was half staffed. They had a moment of silence in the Congress and in the Senate. I mean, they didn't do that for this legislator who got
Like he was like
staffed.
some beloved treasure of the state, but he was really not.
He was.
You know what I mean? All he did was like bash trans people and debate college students. He never debated people who were actually like experts in their field.
No.
You know what I mean? He would go to college campuses and debate people in college because they don't have fully formed ideas yet. But if he was actually debating these things with the people who are in genderqueer studies and who are like the leaders of these topics, oh, they
Yeah.
would tear him to
They
shreds.
would tear him to shreds.
But that's why he didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why he likes to debate college kids because he's trying to say like, oh, like college makes our kids woke and yada yada yada, and this is why it's
Yeah.
bad. Like that whole narrative. But he wasn't being, how do you say, like authentic to his message because he wouldn't debate the experts.
Right. He was just trying to create chaos and, and argumentative things and to rile up the young people. He totally targeted all young people and trying to switch them over to MAGA. And of course, it wasn't about really
And to make
dating.
money.
And he made
He made a lot of money doing
this.
this. So he had motivation to continue to antagonize because he wouldn't get paid the same if he was a Democratic.
Yeah.
I hate it because you know where they get? They get money from Russia. They get money from Israel. They get money from like Red Wing stuff, the Koch brothers. Like those right wing pundits get so many kickbacks, and like they end up in the White House. You know,
Organizations. Yeah.
they end up getting cabinet positions. Like, when have you ever heard of like a left leaning YouTuber becoming the director of the FBI? Like, that never happened.
Oh my God.
That would never happen.
Oh, shoot.
But okay,
Anyway.
so back to the Charlie Kirk thing. Let's talk about the conspiracy theories
Okay.
and
You're
the
one that knows.
actual like stuff that happened, like what we
Okay.
know.
Okay.
So this kid, he's like 20 years old.
Uh-huh.
And the gun he used supposedly is like this old rifle. It's not like a rifle that's easy to disassemble because some of them are really easy.
I don't know.
But this one wasn't.
Can you disassemble
Yes,
all
but you need
rifles?
tools. And this one was one
Okay.
that required tools.
Okay. So
And it's not like you can just, you
Yeah.
know. And there's, okay, so let's start with kind of like, he used an old gun.
uh
Breaking it down and putting it back together would not be easy.
Yeah.
He had positioned himself somewhere where he was pretty easily able to avoid cameras. Like they did catch him on cameras after, but like he was able to get up there. He knew how to avoid that a bit.
Uh-huh.
And, I'm not even sure that the things they're showing that they're saying are him is actually the person that they have in custody because you can't tell.
Well, I guess you're right.
But so he's shooting from a second-story building, 250 feet, over to Charlie Kirk.
And he's under a tent.
And no, he wasn't. Oh, Charlie Kirk is. Yes.
Kurt was under a tent. That
Yes.
would be hard to.
And there was 15-mile-per-hour winds that day. Yes. So then he, from there, hits right here one shot. That's not, like, that's marksman shooting.
Right.
That's like a really good shot, right? And I don't think it's a lucky shot,
Okay.
right? And then immediately after the shooting, a man raises his hands and says, shoot me, I did it. And another person is seen walking in the quad, but he has a pellet gun, not a real gun. Pellet gun, like a pellet rifle.
So what are you saying? They were
They were
distracted?
decoys.
Decoys.
And both of those people were arrested. And that's why, and immediately they were like, oh, the person's been arrested. Like the news was really confusing because why are they arresting this old man? Da, 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 da. So that's what was happening. And then they ended up releasing them, when they found out it wasn't them,
Right.
And then Kash Patel, who dropped the ball before the ball was even thrown his way. I mean, they fired the regional FBI director of that area.
Oh, they did?
And they didn't, yeah, because she was Middle Eastern.
Okay.
And they didn't put anyone else in charge, right? So it's just been like, so like first, that's why something like this is probably able to happen. Because let's not forget, like during Biden, a lot of the right wing, like militias and groups were listed as domestic terrorism, right?
Okay.
But do you think they still think that now?
No.
No.
Exactly. Okay.
So then
Wow.
he gets up there and he gets away. Like there's video of him leaving afterwards, like have it, and he's not limping, but they're saying that he has his rifle in his pants. No, there's no way you're like walking normal. If you have a rifle in your pants, you're doing this one. You know what I mean? Your leg can't bend all the way. And then he disassembled the rifles by they're saying he could bend his leg in that video, and then reassembled it and hid it in a bush, which is like,
well, everything's going chaos.
well, everything's-
Police
yeah.
are around, and it's like he has time to pull out the tools and his glasses and
Put it,
take it apart. I get what
leave
you're
it behind a bush, and then he
Okay.
bounces. And then, so all of that is to me like, okay, like, yeah, this kid did it. Okay. And so the two decoys like isn't a thing. Those are
Right.
just crazy people at the same.
saying.
Like,
Maybe there was more people who
what's
actually
going on
had
in
the
Utah?
opportunity to shoot him, whether it was with a pellet gun or the other person. Maybe there was more than one people who actually wanted to do it. I'm
It's
just
it's a
joking. I don't
Utah
know.
thing.
A Utah thing. That's the land of Mormons. I
Yeah.
think the shooter's family was Mormon.
Well, they were mega, but we
Well,
found that
MAGA
out
too.
later.
They were mega as
They
well.
were mega. Apparently, he is left leaning or has a transgender boyfriend. I still don't believe that he's even the shooter, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
The reason I don't believe he's the shooter is listen to these text messages. This
Okay.
is supposedly from a 20-year-old kid. Drop what you're doing and look under the keyboard, right? There's a note under the keyboard, and it said, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it.
Oh God.
Roommate, what? You're joking, right? Robinson, I am still okay, my love, but stuck in Orem
For a little
for a
while.
little while longer.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person, the roommate says. Then they say, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of this side of town is on lockdown. I'm worried what my old man will do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. Some hate. Then I guess the roommate asked him, like, why would you do this? He said, some hate can't be negotiated out. Then he says, I'm going to go attempt to retrieve it again.
Oh, the rifle. Yeah.
Yeah. And he says that he's, left it in a bush.
Uh-huh. Judging from today.
Something about a 2K scope. So, like, okay, 20-year-old saying things like, until the day I die. You know what I mean? Like,
I
that
see
just
what you're
doesn't
saying.
sound like a young person to
Like a
me.
young person.
I'm worried my old man. Like, that's like someone writing it who thinks, like, that's not when does a kid call their dad their old man?
You're right.
Nobody says that anymore.
No, that's
And
old
kids
stuff.
don't say that. And
Like
then,
my generation.
no, and
I
then,
guess.
to be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret till I died of old age. Like, what kid is talking like that? No,
No, that's not how.
that's written by someone older. I'm sorry.
So you're saying this is all made up?
Well, and then it just so happens where, like, he texted his trans boyfriend where he hid the gun, that the other people didn't matter. Like, he exonerates the other two decoys in the text messages. And then he, like, goes on to talk about, that why he did it, just because he couldn't stand the hate anymore, yada, 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 confirming that he's gay in this. So, like, there's just too much, like, linking the evidence.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? And so, like, it looks to me how stupidly written this is. That this is Kash Patel wrote this.
Oh my God.
Only he would be like, and then I put the gun under the bush. I hope my old man doesn't come over yonder.
I never thought about that, but I guess if you really get into conspiracy theory, I guess that could possibly.
It wouldn't be the first evidence he's fabricated. I mean,
That's true.
they probably found
Incredible.
some, like, cultish mega family to offer up their kid who decided because he's already brainwashed Christian from day one,
Right.
decided I'll lie and go with this thing. You know what I mean? And you notice that the right-wing people weren't like all the pundits and stuff weren't saying, like, what they said about Mangione. They were like, oh, bless his heart, pray for him.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
So I think it's all, I don't trust Kash Patel. I
No.
don't trust the FBI.
No.
And honestly, him releasing, because he released these text messages.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So him releasing this, like, doesn't that make this evidence kind of like null and void in the trial too? Like, are you not supposed to release like evidence, right?
I don't know what the rules are, but I would think that he wouldn't do that.
No, he's an idiot. Of course he would. He doesn't
No.
know.
Well, he's an attorney, isn't he? He should know.
He's an idiot. He's not an attorney. Like,
I thought he was.
I really just think he's like a pundit. I didn't know if he was an attorney, if that's true, maybe.
Yeah. I'd
But
have to check it out. But
I
yeah.
just think he's an idiot.
Well, he is an idiot. I mean, God.
And he's like cross-eyed. He's like,
Oh, I don't understand the eye thing. That bothers me.
He's
I
always
look
like,
I know. He looks guilty, doesn't he?
he looks like he just railed cocaine in the bathroom every day. Like he's on the cameras. He's like,
What? Yeah, that's true. I don't know what that is about.
because he's like, is this the day that they discover everything I've done and send me to jail? Because that's like where he's at in his life.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
so that's the conspiracy theory section.
Okay. Well, I also think that there was a conspiracy when it comes to the assassination attempt with President Trump.
Oh,
When he got shot in the ear.
the ears that grow back.
Yeah. Well, he never got shot
He's
in the
so
ear.
healthy. He's
Yeah.
like 6'4", 200 pounds, and his cartilage grows back.
Yeah. I mean,
The only person in the world, his
The only
cartilage grows back.
and just the way that went down that was to have a guy up that close on a roof and nobody see it. I mean, I'm sorry, the security that would not have happened. So I think they paid this guy or offered this guy to do it. And of course they knew that they were going to shoot him. So they wouldn't have to say anything. And I think he was supposed to miss. I think he was supposed
No,
to
I always
miss.
said that's not an example
So,
of
but
a
he-
bad shot.
but
That's
he-
an example of a really good shot.
Yeah, and he ended up killing an audience member. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't even think it even hit him. I think that was, they used
Ketchup
those,
packet.
yeah, or whatever they do in the movies or whatever. Because come on, you get shot, and wouldn't you be afraid? And, you might even pee in your pants, right?
Well-
but he gets up and he's like, "Oh, I'm here."
He takes the moment.
and
Yeah.
he takes the moment. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I'd be hiding and run it off." So, I mean, the guy could shoot again. I mean, really, would you react that way if you were not afraid that you were going to get shot again?
No.
Right. So that would. So I can kind of sense. I mean, I could believe that there would be a conspiracy.
I think
theory
that
for
there.
Charlie Kirk.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't trust them. And around this time, they were trying to distract us from, and I don't think they did this just as a distraction. I think they needed a martyr to energize their base, but
Yeah.
that's a deeper dive.
And then also the distraction from the Epstein.
Yes, and the fact that Trump committed war crimes and killed all those
Oh.
Venezuelans on a boat,
On a fishing boat. Yeah.
like 8 people.
with a missile.
With like enough cocaine to have a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
I don't understand.
And then
why-
throws a tomahawk missile at them. Blows them to Kingdom Come. And like, oh, they were drug smugglers. What is he doing in his spare time?
I don't know. That's so weird. I never understood that story at all.
They barely reported on it.
I know.
And it's like, we're technically at war with Venezuela right now because of everything that he's doing. Hi, it's just, there's a lot for him. And of course, like, no one's talking about that. We're all talking about Charlie Kirk and his, like, I wouldn't even know how to explain it, his, like, Nazi rally style funeral.
That was
The
so
scariest, like, they didn't even talk about Charlie Kirk.
Well, really, I mean, 60,000 people went, and I mean, they filled that stadium or whatever, and perfect opportunity to bring together, people and stuff. His wife only caught the part where she was like saying that because
She
I'm a
forgives
Christian,
him.
I forgive the shooter. So, and that was a good thing, and everybody was cheering. Okay, fine. Okay, if she's going to do that, that's a good thing to do, right? But then Trump comes up, and what does he say? What does he say? He says, "I'm sorry. But I hate my opponent. I hate my opponent.
He's like, yes, I'm just fucking.
And all the people are cheering to that. And then he started talking. It turned into a fucking political
Yeah.
rally.
No, he started talking about tariffs.
Yes, tariffs and all this.
Like, he was like, the tariffs are doing so great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm
then
like,
Stephen Miller
hey,
came
let's bring
along.
it back to Charlie Kirk, bro.
Really, if he hadn't had any teleprompters, he probably wouldn't have even mentioned his name. That's what I truly believe.
I was like, is this Charlie Kirk's funeral? Seriously? Like, how? Like, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if at my funeral I was mentioned like twice. You just went on to tariffs in the new ballroom or whatever.
It was really bizarre.
It's an alternate reality. What we're losing is like fundamental truth, Now the emperor has no clothes and nobody's telling him.
That's for sure.
And like Trump cannot be controlled because he's aging horribly. He has cankles. He has
Dementia.
hands that are peeling off or something.
right.
He has dementia. I think he had a stroke. He was gone for a week.
Yeah, and then you see,
Everyone thought he was dead.
and you could catch some of the photos where he's just sitting there, and then the half part of his face is like drooping.
Yes.
So it kind of does look like this.
No,
if you
and while
understand.
he was away from like the media for that week, they were posting pictures of him like, oh look, he's golfing, but they were like 3-year-old pictures.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
they weren't even like actual pictures from like this day and age, they're like old pictures.
Oh, interesting.
So
Maybe he did have a stroke.
I think he had a stroke, and the Charlie Kirk thing has been challenging. And it's been challenging for the Democratic Party too, because I don't think they understand okay, so what pisses me off, right? I was all into Governor Newsom and how he was like coming at Trump. He was like saying doing the thank you for your consideration.
Yeah, he was basically acting like.
And I was like, that's so
mocking him.
cool.
I loved it. Yeah,
The moment Charlie Kirk died, stopped.
he stopped. Well, okay.
Out of respect, yes, but
No, I wouldn't say out of respect. I would say out of fear to figure out what's going to happen. Because what is so sad about this is that, and then Trump is egging it on, is this, he wants more political violence. So I would be afraid to, if I was running for office, to go out there and
incite political violence
with a lot of people. I mean, because there's going to be retaliation, which Trump is basically saying.
But see, that's where they get us, because they want political violence, and because we're avoiding it, we just stop fighting altogether. And so what happens is it comes across as weak, and it plays into Trump's strongman routine.
Well, look what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, he didn't really say anything that was untrue. It was all true, and it wasn't really, I didn't think, was offensive in any way.
I have what he's.
But of course, that whole deal, they took that, they're taking the Charlie Kirk incident to take advantage of going after free speach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, they took him off the air.
They took him off the air.
And the joke was Jimmy Kimmel is all right. I'm not a huge Jimmy Kimmel fan. I'm not there's people I don't like on MSNBC either. Do I think they need to be fired because I don't agree with them? No.
No.
But apparently, if Trump doesn't like what you said, you get the shit can. And what he said is we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. And doing everything they can to score political points from it. Not a lie. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay? And that's because he had just played a video where they asked Trump, how are you doing after your friend Charlie Kirk is killed? And he's like, you see my ballroom? I'm building the ballroom over there.
Exactly. I saw that. Exactly. And that was funny what he said.
But I think
that's true.
I think it's not that he's not sad about Charlie Kirk. I don't think he gives a shit about it, really.
No, he doesn't give a shit
But
about anybody.
he's also just has dementia. So it's like when you go up to Grandpa and you're like, how are you doing today, Grandpa? And he's like, I want a waffle on the airplane. And you're like, it's okay, Grandpa. Let's go sit you in front of the TV. That's what he was doing. He was like, there's a ballroom over there.
That's true. That's what he did. Oh my God. But the Republicans are now the ones doing the cancel cancel culture
Mm-hmm.
thing, which they were totally blaming us, I mean, the liberals, the Democrats, of us doing that. And they are completely doing it. Well, it turns out that, Jimmy Kimmel is coming back actually tonight. He'll be in his first show
I'm
after
interested to see what he
and
says.
we'll see what happens there. And I think they're still negotiating and all that. But I think there was a bit setback because people boycotted Disney and a lot of it. And then that the guy Brendan
And-
Carr, I mean, what he said basically, he plain sight, he said exactly.
He said basically, I will cancel anyone that doesn't
and
agree
I'll
with us.
cancel your licenses or whatever,
Mhm.
And
If you go against the regime,
yeah, he's not supposed to
you'll be
say anything.
gone.
It's supposed to, that job is.
Well, and he's an idiot.
Well, he is, but he's also a Trump appointee
Yeah.
as well. So the fact that he's coming back is what I'm trying to say is, yes, we are fighting, and it worked. It worked because people boycotted. They canceled their subscriptions to Disney and all that. A lot of celebrities came out and
Meryl
pulled
Streep,
their
Natalie
shows or whatever.
Portman.
Yes. So you hit them where the money is, and that changes the scope. That's how we come back. But we don't come back to, with violence and all that.
No.
We don't have to.
But Newsom, we need someone like Newsom right now, doing what Newsom's doing. I'm not saying he needs to be president or anything. I mean, maybe, but who knows?
He's a good candidate.
But we just need someone like antagonizing as well, because you can't just always be like, oh my God, because what do they do, right?
Exactly.
Do they sit? They're not there like, oh, everyone just calm down. We don't. No, they're like, it was the Democrats, burn them all.
Yeah.
I will arrest every Democrat. I think he said that, like he would arrest he will make every left-leaning institution like a terrorist group.
Yeah,
And Kash Patel is saying that.
I know.
And so it's like, okay, don't stop being antagonistic just because this shit happens. Actually, this is when you need to do it more. Like, you need to come forward and be like, you killed Charlie Kirk.
Mhm.
You killed Charlie Kirk. The right killed Charlie Kirk. And they're going to kill everyone if they keep going this way.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just...
Well, I mean, like, a couple of Republicans, senators, actually said that what they did to Jimmy Kimmel was wrong.
Oh,
And they said it was Cruz, and it was Ted Cruz and Ron Paul.
Well,
And
Ted
they said-
Cruz is just getting ready for a presidential run.
Whatever it is, but the point is he's right. He says it's a stupid move because whatever we do, if the Democrats will come back in power someday, then they're going to turn around and do it to them. So this is not right. This is not right what the FCC was doing.
Well, you know what? Okay,
They shouldn't have
I know
pulled
we're going into overtime here.
Okay.
But let's talk about it because we had power, right? We had Biden,
Yes.
and we had the FBI.
Yeah.
We had tons of shit on Trump,
Yeah.
and they could have hammered through and stopped the fascist movement
Exactly.
when we were there.
Exactly.
But what did they do? They played the Democrat game of like, oh, we're gonna not be political with the Justice Department.
Yeah, well, the guy who was in charge of the the Attorney General, what was his name? He didn't do nothing. He
No.
took his time. He didn't.
No, he didn't want to
Nothing.
seem like he was going after him.
Yes, that's where.
And here we are now.
Yes, here we are now.
Like,
And everything that Kamala said would happen has happened.
mm-hmm.
She was. I'm sorry. I told you so. She was right.
But that's why I won't, like, if the Democrats do come back into power, they better frickin' cancel every damn contract on TV and do all that shit because
Back to them.
this is ridiculous. Anyways, that's my little sidetrack of like, we had a chance.
We had a chance. Well, we have to be a little different.
Kash Patel Senate hearing, real quick.
Oh my God, that was
Oh
hilarious.
my God. I have never seen such unprofessionalism
He doesn't know what he's doing.
and decorum. But
Oh
then
my God.
also, like,
Yelled and screamed.
he's always there, like, wait, I gotta do the cross-eyed. We asked him a question and he's not even looking at them. He's like this. He's like, they're like, how many times has Trump mentioned the Epstein
He
files?
says, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. I don't know the number. And they're like, well, can you give us a general? Is it 100? And he's like, no. And he's like, I mean, they're like, is it 500? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know the number, but it's not that number. I'm like, what?
Well, if he doesn't know the number and it's not that number, then he does know the number.
And he's like, oh, this just happens to be
Yeah.
something I've obsessed about before I was the director of the FBI, and I haven't even glanced at it.
Exactly.
I've been busy.
Of course he knows the number. He knows everything about it. 'Cause
No.
they're
Oh,
pushing for it.
oh yeah. And they asked him. They were like, "Did you inform the attorney general that he was in the Epstein files?" And he was like, "We talked many times," blah, blah, blah," and he wouldn't answer it.
Nancy.
And then he started yelling at them, and he was like, "Why don't you stop immigrants?" You know, like
What?
it's a real danger as the immigrants.
Oh God.
And
Well, this is a huge cover up. This is huge.
uh,
But we can't let it go. We can't let
yeah.
we still gotta throw it in their faces. Because and if we get back into power, we need to go.
Mhm.
We need to finish that up.
And Cash Patel's got to go.
Oh, for
He's
sure.
he's useless.
Mhm.
He's just like, I don't think anyone understands how dangerous our country is because the FBI is defunct.
That's right.
Like-
No, it is scary.
Like we're coming from like serial killers to terrorism. FBI covers all of it. And then also just white collar crime, like people who are stealing from you every day, you know,
Right.
behind your back or for your pensions or
Yeah.
you know, the FBI has so many things that they stop, and right now it's being run by a monkey and with a computer.
Exactly. And he's gutted so much of it. Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's
He
doing,
doesn't know.
and he can't even see. His eyes are crooked.
I don't know what that is.
I
I don't know, but it is it's freaky. Yeah. And then of course let's touch on the recent trip of Trump over to the
Oh,
UK.
you've
Oh,
been
we went to go see the king and the queen. Oh my God. It's like I feel so bad for them because I know they don't like him. He doesn't know how to he doesn't know the etiquette. Obviously.
so stupid.
So many things. And then did you see what Melania wore? She wore that hat. That hat was
She's
a
like-
lamb. I didn't understand. I know they all wear hats there, but she could have chose something
She doesn't.
better.
She doesn't
but
want
I
to be
guess
there.
It's almost like she doesn't want to be seen.
No, she doesn't want to be seen. And you know what's funny is where did they have it? Was that Buckingham Palace or which
Yeah,
one was it?
Windsor Castle or something.
So I love it because they are interviewing Trump, and he's just.
He's so-
This is one thing. Like it's always funny when he talks. I can't help it. But he's like, they're like, so like you know talking about the UK trip. He's like, yeah, well, they're taking us to where was it?
Windsor Castle.
They're taking us to Windsor Castle instead of Buckingham Palace, which I don't know if anyone's better than the other, but he's like, definitely if there is a better one, it's Windsor. And I'm the only one they're ever taking there. They always take people to Buckingham. Does that mean I'm the best? I don't know. You're like, what? What's wrong with you? Why are you doing this?
He always does that.
It's like,
They took him there because they didn't want him to be at the.
because they don't want their house to smell like shit. Because he's pooping himself. That's why they didn't take him there.
Okay, maybe that's it. I don't know, but
Take him to your house.
they wanted him. They didn't greet him with the red carpet, and they didn't even greet him. He got off the helicopter or whatever, and I think the soldiers greeted him or somebody else.
Mhm.
You know, so I think he was a little pissed about that. But I don't know. I don't know why they have to meet with them. I guess it's just part of the politics and all that. But
Well, because we're still allies,
Yeah.
right?
have
Reluctantly,
to.
Europe
They-
is there like,
yeah, they really don't like it. And he ran into they had protests, a huge protest with him, and then they even what do they call it? They, like, projected, you know, like that reel of him and Epstein, huge on the castle itself, on I think on the Windsor Castle. And
No.
so they, you know, so he was met with a lot of
it was
opposition, I guess.
a lot. It was a lot. And I'm, you know, when he did his speech, I thought it was hilarious because he was like looking at his paper and reading like a fifth grader. Like he's like,
Sorry.
and it's with solemn that we talk about Britain and all these authors that are here, you know, and
Yeah.
then he's like, he mentions some authors, you know, he hasn't read any
Yeah,
books.
like Dickens.
And then he goes, when it's finally him to, and when he gets to like, what do you call it, like rap, he gets to do his Trump stuff. He's like,
rap.
in America, a country on fire. He's like, it's the most successful presidency ever. The past year was a mess last year. Better now. And he's like, and no one says any different. And you could just see the king was like, oh, God. Because he's like, we're all talking about how horrible it is. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
No one is just like, wow, it's on fire and amazing.
That
It's
was
hot.
amazing. Yeah. Well, the next podcast we're gonna have to talk about his speech at the UN. I got part of it, and oh my God, you're gonna totally laugh. I mean,
it's
it
too
was
much.
embarrassing. It was embarrassing how he was talking, and you could tell he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I mean, he was basically telling off every country, that your country is shit. Your country is going to hell. You're bringing in all the immigrants over here. And then he went off and on. And then he was talking about nukes and weapons and all this stuff that, we need to have peace. Otherwise, we use these weapons. We won't be around. We won't have an earth. I don't know. He was talking, but we'll go more into it the next time. But yeah,
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing when he.
I mean, he's pooping his diaper over there too. I mean, it's embarrassing what he's saying, but then you have to picture they're there and he smells like shit.
Yeah.
And he's probably like when he's sitting down, like farting and gross
I'm
and
sure.
old and
Well, he doesn't.
his makeup, you can like, because in real life you could probably see it all,
No.
and they're all like, what is going on in America?
Exactly. Oh my God.
His hand falls off on the table. They just go put it back on, like.
Oh my God, you're funny. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting visual.
His fucking ankles are just popping out under his pants and falling on the floor, like.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just,
It's falling apart.
so.
Yeah. Well, we have to do the prick of a week. I think that'll be easy.
Mm-hmm.
The past 4 weeks, I guess we've been gone. I think it should be Brendan.
Brendan
Carr.
Carr.
Yeah, because that was a bullshit move that he did, and then he tried to walk it back, which wasn't very successful in him doing that.
Well, he's an idiot.
No, he isn't yet.
And he's an asshole.
Not an asshole. And
But he's the prick, too.
well, congratulations, Mr. Carr.
And you know what? Like, good on you for trying to take away the First Amendment, you bastard. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? I am really glad that people are canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions and that they're protesting that, because what an idiot.
You're an idiot.
And nobody should listen to him.
No, that's
He's a prick.
true. He's a prick.
It's a prick. And he's a weirdo. I don't like when he talks.
No,
I'm done with him.
Yeah, I'm done.
Alrighty, well,
Okay, I guess we should.
that's
round
all
it
for
up.
today.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the
that
little bell. Everything you do to interact with these videos helps us to keep coming back. So thanks.
Okay. You have
Bye.
a good week.